What's up, New Future Builders? We're going to get started just in 1 minute. I'm actually on time today. Last time I had a late start. So I'm actually here on time as I'm supposed to be. So I'm making sure that everything is up as it should in the stream. So welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are here, I know the music is loud for now. Please don't mind me. I am simply getting us rolling, and I shall turn that down shortly. I want to welcome you all here to another live edition of What If Wednesday. And we have some good information, have some good questions I'm gonna ask you all today. You're gonna get a few questions, kind of a deal here. So I think it'll be good. They're gonna be a good time. So I'm here. I got the chat roll, and I see that I'm up. So we're good to go. Let me turn down this volume. And so this is the official welcome to this week's What If Wednesday as we continue to build our creativity and our self-awareness so we can build a new future. And so I want to thank you for those who are watching this live. I want to thank you if you are watching the replay. I'm trying to get in the groove of doing these every Wednesday and making sure that I am smoother week by week. Dan B, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. I feel good. I'm here on time. I'm ready to rock and roll, and I'm ready to talk about how we can find our passion. So I'm actually here to share 3 questions. With each question is going to come some activities, a type of action, right? That kind of goes along with that you can actually take. So I'm going to ask you 3 what if questions this particular session. I'm always taking questions. So if you have a what if question for me around this topic, or really any random what if, I will definitely address those at the later end. And also may throw in an extra tidbit that could possibly take us into the next session that we do next week. We'll see. And then if we have some extra time, or if you're curious, for those who are watching, I'll share some updates or some ideas I'm playing with at the end of the video. So that's where we are. So welcome here. You're here because we're going to talk about passion. And so as I thought about these things I wanted to talk about in these streams, and excuse me as I look away, it's kind of just me letting it process, right? There's no script sitting here in front of me. Really, it came down to figuring out what things drive me nuts, right? Drive me nuts that I see and I hear, and it makes me feel something as I look through comments, see other videos, just find other blogs and content. What common things start happening? And so I wanted to start asking some what if questions in relation to building a new future that also kind of touch those topics. And so one of the other common things I see is, how do I find my passion? Right. And so before I go into this, I want to give you something that you need. I want to give you something. You may be watching this right now. Perhaps you don't know your passion, right? Perhaps you don't know your passion. You're watching this. Dan B is very passionate, right? Already has a passion. But maybe you don't have your passion, right? Maybe you don't have it. And so what do you do? Right? What do? You get frustrated. So I want to give you something. I want to give you a pass. Right? I want to give you a chance to forgive yourself. First off, I've done some workshops and some talks for college students, and I've seen younger folks and teens comment in the comments and videos, and they start stressing themselves out over the fact of, how do I figure out what I'm supposed to do in life? How do I figure out, what my path is? How do I figure out where I'm supposed to go? And so it's a journey, right? So this is the first thing I really want to get into before I talk about the 3 ways. Right? I want to first talk about this because I think this will settle some of the anxiety. And then you can really get into these questions with an open mind and a little bit less pressure and a lot more fun. Okay, and it's just give yourself an excuse. I don't say this often. Give yourself a pass. It's okay. It is perfectly okay to not know your passion, your meaning in life, what you're supposed to do. It is okay. Whether you're 14, whether you're 24, whether you're 44, or even 84, it doesn't matter. Okay? Hopefully by 84 you figured it out. What I'm saying though is people go through different phases and stages in their lives. And so oftentimes we feel like this is the stage that we have to get this done right now. We have to have this all figured out right now. And that's not always the case. And remember, I'm over here playing DJ, y'all. I'm over here playing DJ, making sure things are up and going. Okay. And so I just want to say that one, you're going to figure it out when it's time for it to be figured out. And two, it's a process, right? It's a process. It's a constant moving thing. It doesn't just happen automatically. And so for me, kind of figuring out, I have a ton of passions. It's only until like a couple years ago, really just a year or so ago, that I realized that new way to take those passions and channel them. But I understood what my passions were. Really from a younger age, I understood what my one passion was. That was football, right? That was me. That was mine. I understood at that moment in time, right, that I wanted to spend my life around football. Okay, that was what really interested me, what had my heart and my passion. I'll say that for another time. But maybe you're trying to find that thing you're excited about. Maybe you're not sure yet. Okay, just like I didn't know that I was going to be a passionate football player at age 4, right? It's the same thing for you at 14. You may just not have hit that thing, right? And it happens to people later in life. It happens in their 20s after you dabble with different things, right? I got a comment. Dan B says, I found that a lot of people stress because they think you have to narrow your passion down to one thing, and you don't. And that's the hard truth there. That's the hard truth. Okay. And I'll talk about that. What I want you to think about here though, and make sure we were thinking the same thing. Exactly. And make sure, again, I'm playing DJ simultaneously, y'all. I'm trying to I want the music to be faint, not too light. Supposedly it's always too loud. So I make sure it's nice and quiet. So again, it's a process. So forgive yourself, realize there's time. And so with that in mind, hopefully there's been a weight that you've lifted off your shoulders, placed on the ground next to you. Now you can just kind of stare at, laugh at, shake your head at, and you can't even believe that you even let yourself hold that, right? Just let it go, be done with it, and time to move on. So number one question, first thing I wanted to do is take time to reflect. Okay, so in terms of finding our passion, as I get into this conversation, we need to think about our current state of life. Like, what things are we doing that works, and what things are we doing that don't work? Okay, so I want us to talk about what doesn't work, because there's another thing. Some people have found their passion, mistake that they found their passion. Okay, it's actually better. I'd rather music not be heard. So I'll turn up the music a little bit. Check one thing. See, the music should be playing now. I can hear it. So I'll let that roll. Oh. Looks like trying to see if I show or not. Let me know if I can be seen or if you can hear me. All right, so I'm back up. I don't know what's going on with my internet connection. Okay, so there should be a little bit of music now. Hopefully there is. If not, again, I'm not stressing it too much. I'd rather have not loud than it be. That's perfect. Video out now. Okay, the video comes back. The video comes back. Okay, so the fun of doing this live, right? So yeah, the first thing I want you to ask yourself is, could you do what you did today over and over and over again? Could your day like it was today, and your typical day? Don't tell me you went on vacation today, and actually no. Let's scratch that. Could you have done what you did today? So if you went on a vacation, if you was working your dream job, if you weren't working your dream job, right? Could you do what you were doing today for the rest of your life? Could you do what you do on a regular day for the rest of your life? What if you had to do your normal routine, your normal job, your normal thing, or even what you were doing today? What if you had to do that thing for the rest of your life? Right? I want you to think about that. Okay. And so with that, there's some action I want you to take. I want you to write it. Right. I want you to write out the key things you did today, the key things you did this week, the key things you did this month. And I want you to write both the good and the bad. What things did you do? You don't have to write entire sentences. I'm not saying that you need I'm not trying to give you a complete essay to write. This is not that kind of class. I don't like essays, so I'm not going to ask you to write one either, okay? So just write those things down. And when you do that, I want you just a simple rating, right? You could do 1 to 10, 10 being amazing, right? You would love to do this thing. 1 being you wish that this day could have just never existed. Like there was a time machine, you could walk in and start on over, right? So that you can do that scale, or you can just do simply, I hated it, blah, or I loved it. However you do it, I just want you to rate those things in terms of where they fit in your life and the level of enjoyment. What you're going to find is, for those people who have fooled themselves, and this is really who I'm talking to, some people have fooled themselves into thinking what they're doing is what they're passionate about. Especially this comes down to business-minded people. Keep your ear out. For business-minded people, especially ones who love to make money, tend to just get into businesses because they're interested, because they can make money at it. And so they confuse the success in that business as something that they're passionate about, as a thing that they would love to do. Can you really do that business for the rest of your life, like every single day? Meaning that you do not get to retire. There's no exiting that thing. Once you're stuck doing it, that's it. You're done. That's it. You got to do it for the rest of your life. So that's the first question. Write those things down. You don't do it right now. Watch me right now. Listen to me right now. That's what I want you to do. So first thing. Second, what if you could pick 3 things that you had to do for eternity? Right? 3 things that you had to do for eternity. What would those things be? I'm hopping back over. Don't mind me. Again, looking at the music that we have here. Got some Tom Day going right now. I'm actually going to switch over to, it's called The Theme of Love. I actually like this song. Very smooth. Okay, so what 3 things? And the reason I asked 3 things is because Dan B brought up a great point, is that you don't have to just pick one passion, right? And so that's why I said 3 things. I said 3 things for a reason. I apply that to me because New Future Builder, really this brand, and then the goal for the brand will ultimately be a fusion of a lot of my interests. So I realized, this was kind of my big voila moment, right? Was I realized that I didn't just have to have one. I could pick multiple things. So for a while, I was very torn, right? I grew up as a gamer. I'm like, hey, I would love to develop games, but it's not something I really want to do right now because I'm not going to make a ton of money at it. Football, my body is kind of aged out of that, and it didn't like me so much, specifically my knees. If y'all could send a message to my knees and tell them to get on target and to kind of get back with the program, then maybe I'll take a swing back at it. But y'all can help me out with that, okay? And then, thirdly, it's also this pull, like this constant pull into wanting to help people, okay? And so you're asking yourself, well, what does New Future Build have to do with any of all that? All right. I realized that I want to found some form of college or school, some type of education that is new. That's actually a differently run form of education, as in it's modern. Like it's not an outdated regular style of education, but yet at school or college or whatever level of education it's on, could dabble in programming video games, I could have sports teams, and I can still help people and run a business and educate people. I could use that school, that thing, as a way to combine all of my interests into the same body of into the same business, into the same organization, into the same mission. So ultimately, right now, I may have to sacrifice some things, right? I may have to give up some things now, but I'm able to mix those things together later on. Okay, so that's why I'm saying three things. So what if you had to pick three things, right? Maybe you don't start with three things. Okay, maybe you can't narrow down the three things. Maybe there's so many things you're excited about that you just can't figure it out. What I want you to do is just write them all down then. Like if you can't figure out three things at first, take action. The key thing is action. Write them all down. So when you do, then look at that list. Again, rate them. Like if you gotta rate them, rate them. Give them a 1 through 5, 1 through 10, 1 through 100. I want to do a million, 0 to 1. I don't care. Rate them. Figure out a way that it works for you. Figure out which things are priority and which things aren't. Also, what you're going to find when you write that, you're going to kind of find things of different realms of your life, right? So you may discover, so again, three things you have to do every day. So maybe one of those things is your business. Maybe one of those things is spending time with your family. Maybe another thing is going and shooting a basketball. Whatever those things are, okay, you'll find that they may either be all in the same space, or maybe different elements of your life. But ultimately, you're going to figure out what things you're passionate about, and then really what things are important to you. And that's also important to figuring out what's really good. Okay, because I love video games, but obviously I'm not going to pick video games over my goal to impact the world. I'm not going to pick video games over my family, over my wife and my son. I'm not going to pick video games over I'm not going to give up video games, right? I'm not going to give up watching football, to only play video games the rest of my life. I'm just not going to do it. Right? I'd rather continue to be here and watch my sports. Okay? Because I love football, right? So you have to figure out where your priorities are. And you'll kind of discover that with that list. You'll figure out some things that are good for you. So again, first question is really a reflection question. Okay? And that's looking at what you've done. The second question is a dream question. It's kind of looking forward. It's what things would you like to take forward with you into eternity. Again, there's no retirement. There's no nursing home where it smells funny and your family doesn't visit you. It's not that kind of place. It's eternity. Okay? Let's see what we got. See, I'm looking at the comments here. Yes, Fusion. That's my purpose too. What do my knees suck too? Yes, track does take a toll on the knees. And thank you for acknowledging that school is a great idea. I appreciate it. Okay, so that's two questions. Third question is kind of the actions going forward question. It's really what's going to take us from this conversation and what's maybe next week's conversation where we get some different specifics. I've hinted to it. I'm not saying I've hinted to it. I've been talking about it and really kind of business and how this relates to passion. Okay, and so my question to you as we go forward is, what if you could make money at doing the thing you love? Right? What if you could make money at one thing? What would that one thing be that you choose to make money with? Okay, what is that one thing? Now I'm asking you this because I said, again, talking about passion is an important part of that. Ultimately, part of what this channel is and why I say that we want to build internally and externally, I believe that first, building internally is about figuring out yourself. And building externally is what we do in careers and in business. But I feel like it's important to touch both because when those two things are married, it creates an amazing thing. When what you do aligns with who you are, amazing things happen. That's why I always encourage, and I think it should be everyone's goal, to work a career or have a business that's related to their passion. That's why I'm asking this question. So again, what if you could choose one thing? There's a reason I'm saying one thing. What if you could choose one thing to make money with every day for the rest for the rest of your life, not just tomorrow, for the rest of your life, what would that one thing be? Again, I'm asking because I think it's imperative. I think it's important. I think it is critical that you pick something that you love to do for the rest of your life, that you work at. You spend the most of your day. Let's think about this. For most of us, I live in a DC metro area, okay? So for some of us, our commute can range from 30 minutes to an hour. Some people drive from out of state. They drive an hour and a half to 2 hours to get to work. There are some folks we know that are up in a New York office that commute an hour and a half or an hour or 2 hours by train every single day. And then you spend what, 8 hours at work and then another 1 hour, 2 hours back. You're talking you've used up 9 to 10 hours of your day every single day doing something that you don't love? Doing something that you don't love? I mean, I gotta mute the music. We spend all this time doing stuff that we don't love, that we don't appreciate, that don't make us happy and fulfilled. Is what we spend most of our life doing. And we're okay with that. Like, we are okay with that. That is an okay thing for us. Like, we're completely willing to accept this fact that we have to spend every day doing something that doesn't make us happy. Not saying that the sun's going to shine every day, because it doesn't. But majority of the days, it shouldn't be pouring down raining. A hurricane shouldn't be going through your storm in your town every single day. It just shouldn't happen, right? And so I want you to pick one thing. One thing you don't have to give up on the fact that you can make money doing what you love. We're going to talk a little bit more next week. I think that will be the topic we go toward next week, because I think that's an important topic, is doing, and it's what I see others struggle with. Now, other reason I'm asking one thing, you can list out multiple things. I want you to pick one. In the end, I want you to pick one. And the reason is, especially when we talk about business, let me give you one business tidbit before we get out of here. As we talk about business, turn the music back up. I think it's okay now. I think I get off my soapbox. We talk about business, right? The one thing is that we get distracted by so many things. And it's good to have a million passions. It's good to have many interests. For the sake of simplicity, it makes it easier for us. It makes it easier in life when we take a thing a step at a time. I mean, you can hop with 2 feet, right? You can hop with 2 feet, and that's fine. But it usually takes more energy. Okay, so the easier thing to do at first is to take one step forward at a time. So I'm saying pick one thing. Like, what's the one thing you would do? And so as you keep that in your mind, when we go into next week's conversation, all right, when we go to next week's conversation, we can really talk about how do you create that one thing, that one avenue that takes your passion and allows you to be profitable with it. Okay. How we take something like different concepts like football and video games and changing the world and turn to a concept of, or get to the point of, I should start a school, right? How do we get to that point? How do I get to that point? Okay, so that's what I want to lead into. So again, the 3 what if questions in this particular week. What if you had to spend what you did today, what you did this entire week, doing it the rest of your life? Could you do it? What's the good? What's the bad? Let me know. The second question, what if you had to pick 3 things to do for eternity? That means there's no retirement. And then what if, the third question, what if you had to pick one thing that you could make money with for the rest of your life? What would that one thing be? Those are the questions I leave you with. If you want support, listen, if you want deeper support, you want to talk to me, I have a free group. It's just this small little tight-knit group trying to grow out. And every week I try to have a conversation about how we can grow ourselves as people, grow ourselves in business, grow ourselves in our lives. I share more of my experiences behind the scenes, and I try to share extra content there. But yeah, try to meet weekly as I can. And so join the movement. I call it the movement because it's about moving forward and creating something special. Do me a favor. Do me a favor. I don't know if I should write it down or what. I want you to text the word build. Okay. Text the word build to 240, okay, 206, okay, 6362. So build, right? Build. Word build. I don't know if this will show or not. Okay, I don't know if this will show or not. 240-206-6362. Text the word build. Okay, you'll get a link that'll let you apply to the group. Don't just, when I say apply, I mean, I'll look at it. If it's some spammy thing, then you'll get rejected. I don't just want to allow computers to join the group. I don't want the group to be full of junk. See, I actually do want to be particular about who's in. And so, if it looks junky or spammy, I allow you to submit something about you and what you want to do. If it looks kind of junky or spammy, or, it's just the first question is, how do I make more money? I'm gonna at least reach out and have a conversation. I really do want it to be for folks who want to make change. And the change doesn't have to be, you don't have to change the entire world, whether it's just to be a better person, because I believe that being a better person also leads to changing the world. And so, check that out. Join the movement. Again, text 240-206-6362. Text the word build, 240-206-6362. You'll get a link. You can fill out some info and join the group. Join the movement. Let me check the comments, see what else we have here. Okay, Dan B has been rocking with us the entire night. Thank you. There's somebody lurking. Don't know who it is that hasn't commented. Okay, let's see. So take individual passions first before trying to multitask them. Good advice. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Again, keep it simple first. Dan B agrees simple, and then multitask. Okay. Walk before you run before you jump. And it's easier to take one step than it is two. It is possible to jump, but it just takes a little more effort and a little more muscle. So let's build up that muscle and let's work and grow on this movement. So if you're new to this, you're brand new, hit the subscribe button, hit it wherever it is, join the movement, join this lovely community. I always love people's interactions on these videos. If you love this, hit the share with your friends, share with your family, and you guessed it, share it with your foes. Share it, your foes need it too. And as usual, treat each day as a building block to a better future. Peace.